Okay, so today we're going to talk about the highest notes on the saxophone. Now, these notes are a little bit challenging because they take a lot of air and a lot of support. So we're gonna kind of work up to them. Our first new note that we'll learn is high D. Now, high D is with the octave key. These are all with the octave key. And it's just this first side key with your left hand. And now, if you look at my left hand, it's staying in position. Like I'm ready to play a G or an A or a B or a C. And it's just kind of going down and resting on that first palm key right here. So these fingers right here are not flying up in the air like this. They're just resting right on their key. And, you know, I'm hardly moving at all, but it's opening up this little hole to make the sound a little bit higher. So just kind of mess around with that a little bit. Make sure your octave key is down. See if you can feel that out. Now, as we get ready to play it, if we just don't think about it and play it without concentrating, it's going to sound like this, which is not very high sound. It is not the right note. So if you tried it, maybe that's the sound you got out and you were maybe a little confused or frustrated. So let's work up to the note from some lower notes. Okay? Think about having a really firm embouchure like we talked about. And let's take it up step by step from A, going A, B, C, actually A, B, C sharp, D. I'll just play that for you one time so you can hear it. Okay, let me demonstrate that one more time, just a little bit slower. Now my embouchure is really firm. I'm giving a lot of air and taking a deep breath. So let's play that together. Starting A, B, C sharp, and then D. I'll cue each note with my body like this. So here we go. Ready? Okay, so that is the note D. Let's just try doing it C sharp to D, so we don't have to play A and B. Because it's almost the same as C sharp, you're just going to press that key down. The octave key will already be there. So we'll play a nice strong C sharp, keep the air flowing, and maybe do a little crescendo, get a little bit louder as you get into the D. Okay, I'll play it one time and then you can play it after me. Okay, let's try that together. Ready? And. Great. Now that we've tried C sharp to D, let's try D by itself. Okay, and let's start this note with the tongue so that we can get a really nice, clear start. So I'll play it one time for you, and then we'll play it together. All right, let's play it together. Nice deep breath and firm embouchure. Ready? And. Okay, let me demonstrate it for you one more time. Just like this. And then when you play it with me, make sure you're not getting that low sound. Make sure you're getting that nice high sound and that the sound that I'm playing is exactly like the sound you're playing. Together, one last time. Ready? And. Great job. The next note we're going to learn is high D sharp, also known as E flat, as we learned last time. This one is just like high D, which we saw was the first side key on the left hand, except it's the first two side keys. So it's the D, of course, with the octave key, and also this key right here. Same thing with the D. Your fingers are going to stay in playing position, and you're just going to let the side of your hand go down. Now, my pointer finger is moving a little bit. That's okay. And every saxophone is a little bit different. So you might have to let your hand go down a lot more on yours. It might just feel a little different, and every hand is different. So do what's comfortable, but do your best to keep these three fingers on the B, A, and G key, just resting there as you let the hand kind of go down. So it's just these first two keys. That's high D sharp, just 1/2 step above high D. So let's work up to that note, just like we did with the D. This time we'll start on a B, and we'll play B, C sharp, D, D sharp. So let me play that for you one time. Let me do it one more time, just a bit slower. Okay, now let's play that together. B, C sharp, D, and D sharp. And I'll cue each note with you. Okay, let's try that one more time. Remember, keep the air flowing and maybe try to get louder as you go through each note as you really support the sound and get the firm embouchure going too. Here we go. Okay, let's do a little shorter walk up. Again, starting on C sharp, just C sharp, D, D sharp. And you'll see doing these walk ups to the notes really helps you get the sound out, because otherwise you'll probably get, which is not the sound you want for that note. It's not a very pretty sound, and you and whoever's listening to you to play will think maybe that's a little bit strange. So let's walk it up from the C sharp, D, and D sharp. Here we go. Actually, I'll demonstrate first, and then we'll play it together. Okay, let's try that together. Okay, let's play together just the last two notes of that, D and D sharp. One more time, just D and D sharp. Okay, now let's try the D sharp all by itself. I'll play it first, and I'm starting it with my tongue really clearly to get a nice, clear start. Okay, let's try it together. Make sure you have a really firm embouchure. Deep breath. And one last time together. Great. The next note we're going to learn is high E. Now high E is just like high D sharp, except this one uses a key from the right hand that opens up a key that's up here by the left hand. So you're going to use this right side key for the high E. And if you see the way my hand is moving, I'm trying to keep these fingers on the F, E, and D keys. And I'm just kind of rotating my wrist like this to go up. And so these fingers are maybe not on the key, but they're kind of pointing down to the key. So you want to really make sure your wrist is really loose. You want to be able to kind of not have it be really tight. You want it just to kind of be loose so that you can kind of go back and forth really freely. Like if you're playing a high E and then a low E, you want to be able to have your hand go right back down. So, but for right now, we're just working on the note by itself. You'll see that it opens up this key right here, which is right by these other holes that are opening. And we're going to add it to the high D sharp. So let's do a little walk up starting on C sharp. We're going to go C sharp, D, D sharp, E. So let me demonstrate that first. Okay, now let's play it together. I'll count us off a little bit and we'll do it in a nice slow tempo starting on C sharp, then D sharp, then E. Ready, and. Remember, keep the air flowing, and you want to make sure you get a little louder on each note to make sure that's happening. Okay, let's do it one more time. Ready, and. Okay, so hopefully these notes, you're kind of getting used to it. You kind of know how it feels to play them right. You know what it takes with your embouchure and your breath to get them to sound at the right place. So let's do a really short walk up just from D sharp to E. Hopefully we can get the D sharp out right away and your sound is going to match mine. And we're going to start this one with our tongue, play the D sharp, and then we'll just move the right hand key into place to play the E. So let me demonstrate that one time. Okay, let's play it together. Deep breath, ready, and. Okay, one more time. We'll hold the D sharp a little bit longer this time. Ready, and. And last but not least, let's try playing the E on its own. Let's take a deep breath, use our tongues, and get a really strong sound for that high E. I'll demonstrate first. Okay, take a deep breath and play with me. Ready? And. One last time. Ready? And. Great job. The last high note that we're going to learn today is high F. Now high F is just like high E, except you're going to add that last fingering with your right hand. So all three of these keys are on your in your left hand. All three of these keys are pressed down on your left hand, and this high E key is you're still using this in your right hand, and of course the octave key. With your fingers, this one is a little bit more awkward because you want to keep your fingers on the B, A, and G to be ready to play any note you want. But when you press this one, it's a little bit further away. So every saxophone, like I said, is different. Every hand is different. But for me, I end up kind of using my third finger to press it, which keeps it pretty close to where I need it to be for the C key, if I wanted to play a C. But the main thing is trying to keep your hand relaxed and keep it in position. So you don't want to get really, really tense like this and, freak out, because that's going to affect your breath. You're not going to be able to have a good sound, and you're not going to be having fun. So keep it relaxed, and just remember, this is the highest note on the saxophone, so it's kind of a big deal. And, if you can get this sound out nice and clear, you're going to be able to play every single note on the saxophone. Which is a huge accomplishment, and it opens up a whole world of playing basically any kind of music you want on the saxophone. So let's start walking up to that note, just like we did for the other high notes. We'll start on C sharp, and we'll go C sharp, D, E, F. Okay, let me demonstrate that one time. Yeah, that's really, really high. So you're gotta take a deep breath, make sure you have a really firm embouchure, and we're gonna crescendo, making sure we get louder each note. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. We'll start on C sharp, go to D, E, and F. Ready? Breathe. Takes a lot of air. Let's try that one more time. I'm playing all these new notes, and hopefully the fingerings, you're getting used to those so that you can really focus on getting the air moving through the instrument. Okay, deep breath, same thing. Ready, and. Great. Now let's do some shorter walk-ups. Let's start just on the D, D, E, F. I'll demonstrate that one time for you. By now, hopefully the D is becoming more comfortable. But let's again, since it's a harder note, let's start it with the tongue to make sure we get the tone nice and clear right away. Let's take a deep breath, D, E, and F. Ready? And. Now, one of the hard things you might find is making sure your right and left hand move at the same time when you're going D to E. So if they're at different times, it's going to sound like this. Which is kind of funky, kind of cool, but when you're trying to get a clean D to E as you're walking up to F, you want to make sure those are in sync together. Let's do that one more time, D, E, and F. Ready? And. Okay, let's do the shortest walk up, just E to F. Deep breath and use your tongue to start the E, and make sure you're getting just a little bit louder as you get into the F. Ready? Actually, let me demonstrate it one time for you. All right, let's do it together. Deep breath. Ready? And. All right, one more time together. Use your tongue to start the E, and deep, full breath. Ready? And. All right, for our last exercise in these new notes, let's just try to play the F all by itself. You're gonna wanna focus on keeping the embouchure really firm with your lip and a really strong breath. And of course, you're going to use your tongue to make it easier. Let me demonstrate this one for you. If you notice, all of these holes on the saxophone are open. So you're basically playing the saxophone and the air is coming out right here. So it's a very small amount of air going to the saxophone, so it takes a lot of control, a lot of concentration, and at the same time being really loose and relaxed. So let's take a deep breath, use your tongue, and play it together. Ready? And. All right, let's play it one more time. Remember, this is the last note on the saxophone that we haven't learned. So once you can kind of get this note out, you've got the whole range of the saxophone from top to bottom, which is a huge accomplishment. Let's try it. Ready? And. Nice job.